Ever feel like you've got these huge goals you just,
Yeah.
dream of reaching?
Oh, yeah,
But
definitely.
figuring out how to get there, that's a whole other story, Freddie.
Oh, for sure. It can be super
It
overwhelming.
can be. So that's exactly why we're taking this deep dive today. We're going to be looking at this really interesting segment all about this idea of like eagle vision for goal setting.
Oh, cool.
And the idea is how to really make those big ambitious dreams a reality.
Awesome.
So, so the material we've got here, it talks about this really powerful first step, and it's something that sounds pretty simple at first.
Okay.
It's, you got to identify that big goal that's really important to you,
Hmm.
and you got to write it down.
Yeah. And it's interesting, right? Because it is on the surface, just writing it down. But I think there's something more to it than just like making another to-do list, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So is it more than just like, putting it on a piece of paper? What's the actual, significance of this?
I think it's about bringing that goal into reality,
Yeah.
taking it out of just like a wish or a daydream and turning it into something tangible and actionable.
Right.
And when you actually write it down, it's almost like you're making this declaration, not just to the universe, but also to yourself, right? It's like you're saying, okay, I'm committed to this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're solidifying that focus, like an
Exact.
eagle zeroing in on its prey. But then what? How do we go from, that big picture goal to where we are right now?
Right. So that's where the idea of small steps comes into play. And this ties into a really cool psychological concept called the Zeigarnik effect.
Okay.
And basically what it says is that our brains are wired to remember unfinished tasks much more clearly than ones we've already completed.
Interesting.
So when you break down your big goal into smaller, more manageable steps, you're creating all these open loops in your mind, and your brain is going to be driven to close them.
Okay. So it's almost like you're kind of tricking your brain into staying on track.
Yeah. In a way, yeah, you're harnessing that natural tendency to want to finish things.
Got it. So let's say my big goal is, I don't know, something like writing a novel. So
Gotcha.
instead of getting overwhelmed by that whole huge project,
Yeah.
I should be focusing on smaller chunks.
Exactly. Instead of that big, daunting end product, break it down. Set a goal to maybe write one chapter this week, or even just a page every single day.
Right.
Each little step you finish reinforces that feeling of making progress, and that keeps you motivated to keep going.
It's like you're building momentum.
Exactly, one step at a time.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense for something like writing a book, but what about for someone who's trying to learn a new skill? Like, how would you apply this?
Well, those smaller steps could be things like taking an online course or setting aside like 30 minutes every day just to practice.
Right, so it's about consistency too.
Absolutely. And that consistent effort, even if it's just a little bit each day, it really adds up over time.
Okay, and I imagine this could apply to all sorts of goals, right? Like if someone wants to start a business or something.
Definitely. In that case, a small step could be doing some research on your target market or maybe sketching out a rough business plan.
Okay, so it seems like the key here is making sure that whatever actions you're taking, however small they are, they're all aligned with that bigger picture.
Exactly. You're building a bridge, brick by brick, to reach your ultimate goal.
Love that analogy. But let's be real, even when you break things down into smaller steps, staying focused, staying motivated, it can be tough.
Oh, absolutely. Life throws curveballs all the time. There are always going to be distractions.
Yeah, sure.
So just like an eagle navigating through those unpredictable wind currents, we need to develop that same resilience and adaptability.
Okay, and how do we do that?
Well, it all starts with having a crystal clear vision of your end goal. That becomes your North Star.
Right.
Whenever those distractions pop up, remind yourself of why you started on this journey in the first place.
So it sounds like what we're learning here is that achieving those seemingly impossible dreams, it's really all about taking consistent, purposeful action, even when it feels like those actions are tiny and insignificant.
Exactly. It's that unwavering commitment, that eagle vision, that ultimately leads to success.
And I think that brings up a really important question for everyone listening right now.
Okay, what's that?
What's one small step, something you could do today that aligns with your big goal?
Remember, even the most ambitious journey starts with a single step.
And that's our deep dive for today.
Until next time.
See you then.